Welcome to my presentation. My name is B. Lordhan Kumar, Civil Department. My roll number is 234G1A0110. Explain stable, unstable and neutral equilibrium of floating body and submerged body. Introduction to equilibrium. Equilibrium refers to the state of floating or submerged body when the force acting on it are balanced. Understanding the types of equilibrium is essential in naval and marine engineering. In this presentation, we will explore stable, unstable and neutral equilibrium for both floating and submerged bodies. Define of floating bodies. A floating body is any object that is buoyant enough to remain on the surface of a fluid. The buoyant force must equal the weight of the floating body for it to float. The shape and density of floating body influence its stability in equilibrium. Stable equilibrium of floating bodies. A floating body is in stable equilibrium when it returns to its original position after being tilted. This occurs when the center of gravity is below the center of Examples include a properly designed boat or a floating upright in water. Unstable equilibrium of floating bodies. A floating body is in unstable equilibrium when it does not return to original position of being disturbed. In this case, the center of gravity is above the center of an example is a flat boat that easily when tilted. Neutral equilibrium of floating bodies. A floating body is in neutral equilibrium when it remains in the new position after being tilted. This occurs when center of gravity and center of elegant horizontal. Example include a cylindrical log floating on water which can roll without returning to an upright position. Define of submerged bodies. A submerged body is completely below the surface, a fluid, and it is attacked the hydrostatic pressures. Unlike floating bodies, submerged bodies do not experience a free surface. This stability relies on the relationship between their weight and weight of the fluid displaced. Stable equilibrium of submerged bodies. A submerged body is in stable equilibrium when it returns to its original position of being disturbed. This typically observed when the center of gravity is below the center of pressure. An example is a submerged fish that can adjust to maintain depth. Unstable equilibrium submerged bodies. A submerged body is in unstable equilibrium when it does not return to original position after being disturbed. This occurs when the center of gravity is above the center of pressure. An example is an underwater balloon that when displaced tends to rise uncontrollable. Neutral equilibrium of submerged bodies. A submerged body is neutral equilibrium when it is remains in its new position after being dis- disturbed. This situation can occur when the weight and force are equal and act on the same vertical line. An example includes submerged object like an anchor that holds it its position underwater. Conclusion: understanding the types of equilibrium is is for designing stable vessels and underwater structures. Each type of equilibrium as practical in various engineering applications. Future studies may focus on stable in both floating and submerged bodies, improved safety and efficiency. Reference: Fluid Mechanics by Hill Education. Introduction to Naval Achievements. Thank you.